Emmanuel, God is with us. Emmanuel, God is with us. I think the leaves on this cyclamen is so beautiful, and the white flowers just accent those pretty leaves perfectly. If you see this one with the white flowers, it's very, the leaves almost look like flowers, so it adds extra ornament to your garden. And of course my spring flowers are popping up, so it's the middle of January, so I figure by February your crew will be looking at spring flowers. I think that's a month earlier than other people get them. I'm in zone 10, but hey, I'll take it. I'm ready for some beautiful spring flowers, but I am enjoying these beautiful winter flowers. This cyclamen is a little thirstier than others, but once it got acclimated, this is my own self version of a self-watering pot. See, I have it on top of that pot, and that pot doesn't have any drainage holes, so it gets a lot of water, and everything in here just really likes it. These are my freesia bulbs. For those of you who don't know, this is freesia. This is a plant. This plant is dead, as you can see, and it was for peas to climb and different things that needed it to climb. And I didn't know freesia was a climbing plant, but evidently it is, because it, as you can clearly see, it is making use of the tree there and climbing through it. So I wonder if it's going to flower through it. We'll see in time. All kinds of flowers and barley grass. In the springtime, it's so pretty to have some grass, so I use barley. My other planter, and I planted my traditional red here, and I wish I had another one of those white ones because I'm watering. But this is not a self-watering pot, so I actually have to water this pot as much as a self-watering because it doesn't hold enough water. And the freesia in this pot are not growing into the tree. They're growing out in front of it. So maybe it's just where they're located, and that gives a little bit more shade to the cyclamen, which likes a little shade, you know. And what else have we got going on here? Oh, what is this? I don't know. Looks like it's too late for that one. Don't know what that is. I don't know if I put that there or somebody else put it there. I thought I saw some other flowers over here. Oh, okay. That is my old man there. That's wormwood. Love wormwood. It's so drought tolerant, and it does very well with other plants. Here are my sweet peas. I had sweet peas in the other pot, but they really didn't do so well. But the sweet peas in this pot are doing really good. So I have sweet peas there. I thought I had other flowers. I thought I had saw tulips. I hope this isn't my tulip. No, that's not my tulip, but that's not a good sign because that looks like food. And if something left food, that means it got full. Oh well. What is this? Oh good, it's not a tulip shell. Sometimes when they eat my tulips, they leave the shell for me to taunt me with it. You thought you had a tulip? It was my tulip. Ah, there's something. Looks like a hyacinth is coming up there. That looks like a hyacinth. But we'll all see together in time. But these are my spring planters. In the winter time, mixing it up. I'm trying to make sure, I'm trying to look for babies. But hey, it's a good little view there. I'll show you some flowers coming up. Just the flowers coming up. No flowers yet, just the bulbs. These are my Dutch irises. They're doing very well. They're coming up nice. Looks like every Dutch iris that I planted is coming up. Yeah, all of these are Dutch irises. So they're all coming up. That's pretty exciting. I haven't seen any tulips breaking ranks, but these right here are ranunculus. So ranunculus are coming up. This might be anemone, either anemone, that might be my saffron. Yeah, because saffron already flowered. So I showed you guys my first saffron flower. Lots of anemone. I'm sorry, ranunculus. All of these are ranunculus. That's ranunculus coming up. So I don't know how long it takes ranunculus to flower. It might take 3 months. I don't know when they will flower. And I don't know when these will flower either. But I think I'll have flowers to show you in February. Lots of sweet peas in here. Sweet peas. They're little babies right now, but they're in there. And they'll be big and strong and flowering probably in February. A little update on the peas. I do plant peas amongst my flowers, just regular old peas. These are regular leeks. These are actually dying back now, and they will flower, hopefully. Those will flower for me. These are some more of my Dutch iris. Dutch iris is the one that will grow in my area. This is grass. I think it's a bluegrass. This is the English peas. More Dutch iris. You can see the difference. The leeks are very loose. They fall over and they've got a nice blue color, whereas the Dutch iris have a more wiry look to them. Let's see. A hyacinth is coming up there. It's just barely peeking up, but I know hyacinths are supposed to be relatively early, so it'll probably be up soon. Let's see if we can find anything else. More Dutch iris right here, and looks like Dutch iris for the wind. Nothing else is coming up. Okay, over here, these are my it's a little dark over here. Let me see if I can get you in closer, or if I put my hand. These are daffodils. These are jonquils, in fact, and they are sailor. I bought a combination of both white sailor and yellow sailor, and there they are coming up. And you see they are coming up nicely through the trees. Right next to that is a ranunculus, and a sailor daffodil is coming through the ranunculus. So they're growing quite well together. I don't know if this is, oh yeah, that's another sailor. And then the sweet peas are coming behind it. My peppers have perennialized over here, so they're going for their next crop. I didn't take off the old crop because sometimes if I keep the fruit on there, it flowers and gives me peppers earlier. So that's what I did, and it's got 2 heads coming to give me peppers. This tulip must be getting more heat than the rest of them because it's the only tulip that's up. This is a Purossima Tulip, which is a white tulip in the Fosteria brand. It's quite a ways up. This whole thing is planted with them. And as you can see, only one is up. So that's why I think that one's in a warmer area than the rest. Because the others get a little shade, and when they grow, they kind of lean out like that to get the sun. But it gives me a zone cooler than I would otherwise have, which, you know, for me puts me in zone 9. But over here, I really think it's more like a zone 8 because I grow tulips and stuff over here. And as you can see, they're not pushing up because it's still too cold for them to think they should come up. How does that happen? I know this is zone 10. This feels like zone 8, maybe even zone 7. As you can see, my raspberries have dropped all their leaves. The blackberries are in the process of dropping. It must be colder this year than last year because they've dropped half their leaves. And these blackberries can be evergreens, but not this year. I put a little mulch, about a 1/2 inch of mulch on my tomatoes, and that has seemed to have been enough for them to perennialize because they're against this wood, and you know the wood takes in heat during the day, and at night the wood provides insulation. So I've got tomatoes that overwintered. I harvested from them last year. I don't have to plant tomatoes this year. And the eggplant is doing the same thing. Yeah, so the eggplants came back for a second year. It's a nice size. So I should have early eggplants this year. Yeah, nice. Okay, so these are my muscaries. So they're coming up. They're nice and strong. They're I think I might get muscari in January. They got 2 weeks to go. And these tulips are coming up. These are probably Red Riding Hoods. But I think I see quite a few of them. And there's another one there. See the little, so if you see little tulips coming up, I plant mostly early tulips because of the area that I'm growing in. I'm gonna find, I think that's a weed, but I'll leave her be. Yeah, I think that's all I can find so far. We're looking. What else have I got to do? I'm sorry. There's another one. I don't know if I showed you that one. I don't think so. So I've got some tulips and muscari coming up here. So as you can see, spring is coming up. We have some muscari here coming up. They'll be flowering soon. This is a hyacinth. And over here are some daffodils. So that's all I can say just from looking at them. Are up in this one. Let's go on over here, see if we see anything. Oh, there's some tulips coming up right here. We have some very early tulips. It is the middle of January. I'm in Southern California, so my spring already exists. But as you can see, these plants, you know, they're just starting. They're starting in on spring. Yeah. I don't know if this is jonquil. I think this might be jonquil coming up with the daffodil. So there's a daffodil coming up. And I just can't figure out. I think this might be a jonquil. I think that might be a jonquil. I'm ready to see some beautiful flowers. Oh my goodness. And over here you see that is a daffodil. The bulb is above ground. Right next to it, that's a freesia. Oh, and there's another freesia. And this is an iris. There's some summer irises in here too, but they don't flower until a little bit later. Dwarf iris is in there. But spring is on the way, guys. It's coming. Hang in there. We just got to make it through, you know, the best of January. I believe it's time for a praise break. Do you believe there's time for a praise break? Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want. Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want. If you want your body healed, tell him what you want. You just call him up and tell him what you want. Jesus, I want my body healed. Tell him what you want. Jesus, I want my body healed. Tell him what you want. Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want. You just call him up and tell him what you want. If you need your mind free, tell him what you want. If you need your mind free, tell him what you want. If you need your mind free, tell him what you want. You just call him up and tell him what you want. All right.